The storm had ended hours ago, yet the world still felt shaken, like it had absorbed the weight of every unspoken truth. A lone father stood outside the tall glass doors of a corporate tower, clutching a small velvet box in his trembling hand, replaying the moment he had found it wedged behind the seat of his late wife's car. Inside it lay a silver bracelet he had never seen her wear, engraved with the initials of another man. And that man was the CEO he was about to meet. With the sun rising softly over the city and the day beginning in its full clarity, the truth waiting behind those doors felt darker than anything he'd faced since losing her. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us how fragile the human heart is, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Hub. It helps the stories reach more people who need them. Ethan Rowan had never imagined his life would shrink down to simple routines: early mornings, lunchboxes, homework, and his little daughter Lily's quiet questions about her mother. 2 years had passed since Clara's accident, but grief had a way of lingering, sticking to the walls of his small home like an old scent that refused to fade. Ethan worked as a delivery supervisor in a mid-sized company, earning enough to survive but never enough to breathe. He didn't complain. He couldn't. Because every morning Lily woke him with her sleepy smile, tying her messy hair into a ponytail with the determination of a warrior, and reminding him that she was the reason he stayed strong. But 3 days ago, while clearing Clara's old drawers to find Lily's missing art supplies, the bracelet had slipped out and clattered to the floor. Silver. Delicate. Beautiful. Too expensive for anything Clara ever allowed herself. And the engraving, AR. Those letters had drilled into Ethan's mind, pinching every nerve of doubt he had never allowed himself to feel. Clara had been pure, honest, and full of warmth. She had loved him. He knew she had. But then why had she hidden this? Why did the initials match Alexander Reed, the CEO of the very company where Ethan worked? So now, under the bright daylight that filled the city with a harsh kind of truth, Ethan forced himself to walk inside the building. The receptionist recognized him and let him through. People bustling in polished halls didn't know the storm he carried in his chest. His legs felt stiff, almost mechanical, as he approached the executive floor. He knew he wasn't supposed to be there without an appointment, but something had pushed him, something raw and desperate. He had to know. Not for revenge. Not for anger. For closure, because a father cannot carry doubt when raising a child who still cried in her sleep asking for her mother. Alexander Reed was younger than most CEOs, with an air of control that filled the room long before he spoke. Ethan stood before him, heart pounding, sunlight streaming through the tall windows and brightening every speck in the air. He placed the bracelet on the table. The way Alex's face drained of color told Ethan everything yet nothing at the same time. Ethan braced for betrayal, infidelity, a secret affair, anything that could prepare him. But the truth crawled in slower, heavier, and far more painful than expected. Alex finally spoke, voice low and strained, explaining that Clara had been his childhood friend. Not a lover. Not a secret partner. A friend he had once owed everything to. She had saved him when he was young, when he had been a troubled teen living alone with a violent parent. Clara, with her courage, had called the authorities the night she saw him injured. She had testified. She had stood by him. That bracelet was not a symbol of romance, it was a thank you gift, one she planned to return, because she believed Ethan wouldn't like expensive things coming from another man. She never wore it. She hid it with the intention of giving it back. Ethan's chest tightened painfully. The accusations he had built, the doubt he had allowed, the anger he had swallowed, they all crumbled, leaving him with a sting of shame. But Alex wasn't done. He explained that he had tried to help Clara months before her death because she had quietly struggled exhausted, battling a medical condition she had kept hidden from Ethan. She hadn't wanted to burden him while he was already working 2 jobs to support Lily. The night she died, she had been driving back from the pharmacy, picking up the medicine she never told Ethan she needed. The revelation broke something inside Ethan. Not anger. Not resentment. Just grief, deep, slow, suffocating grief. He sank into the chair, burying his face in his hands. He had believed he had known Clara completely. Yet she had carried her pain alone, shielding him, protecting him even as her own strength faded. He had loved her gently. She had loved him fiercely. And now that fierce love ached like a reopened wound. Alex stepped closer, his expression softening in the bright daylight filling the room. He admitted he hadn't approached Ethan earlier out of respect, believing that revealing the truth about Clara's illness might only deepen his suffering. But now that Ethan had found the bracelet, he deserved to know. And more than that, Alex revealed that Clara had left something with him, a sealed letter she had asked him to deliver someday, when the time felt right. Today became that day. Ethan opened it with trembling hands. Clara's writing flowed like the warm voice he missed. She spoke of her love for him and Lily, her fear of becoming a burden, her hope that he would someday forgive her silence. She asked him to live without guilt, to love openly, to breathe again. And she also wrote something for Lily, a promise that her mother's love would follow her always, in every sunrise, every gentle wind, every small kindness. Ethan cried silently, sunlight reflecting off the tears that slid down his face. And in that moment Alex made an offer, quiet but genuine. He wanted to support Lily's education, not as charity, but as fulfillment of a promise he had made to Clara to protect the family she loved. Ethan hesitated, but the sincerity in Alex's eyes made him realize this wasn't pity. It was connection. Healing. Kindness passing from one heart to another. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Hub. Your support helps these meaningful stories reach more people who need hope. Before the ending, comment always choose kindness to spread positivity. And as Ethan walked out of the building, sunlight warming his face, he felt something he hadn't felt in years: peace. The kind that doesn't erase pain, but gently teaches the heart how to live again.